So we're now in Auxerre, France, at the Abbey of Saint Germain. We're looking at a bell tower outside that abbey. Saint Germain was born in 378 AD. He was the son of Gallo-Roman aristocrats, and he trained to be a lawyer. He ended up converting to Christianity and became a bishop. So he changed his life completely from one of comfort and aristocracy to one of total poverty. He's known for several things. One is that he trained St. Patrick, everybody knows, from Ireland, and he defended the people in the provinces from injustice and oppression. He actually died when he was in Ravenna, Italy, but he loved the Auxerre area, and his body was returned there, and this abbey church was established. So we're inside the church now. We're looking at a 3-story elevation in the Gothic style. This was considered very pioneering architecture for the 13th century. The first building on the site was actually a oratory or a small chapel in 448, and it was considered a site of pilgrimage. It was replaced by a Merovingian basilica in the 6th century, and a crypt was built in between 841 and 859, and this crypt actually acts as a foundation to the rest of the church and to the building that we're looking at right now. Be sure to read the text that goes along with this church. It will give you a bit of context as to why the crypt and how the crypt was built. We've gone into the crypt now, and this is a very unglamorous photo of the walkway that one must stay on when one is inside the crypt. I'm so glad they did this. It protects these walls, and yet it still allows us to see what's going on. Has, besides staying on the walkway, you can see it has barriers on either side that are really handrails. And if you look below, you'll see a grate, and we're going to visit that grate in the next photo. We're looking down into the grate that you basically walk over, but if you look into what is below the grate, there's another level completely that we don't get to go to. And this level is where we have these very ancient coffins that are protected, but you can see them through the grates. So finally we get to see what is so protected and so wonderful inside this crypt. This is a video of the walls and the painting on the walls. Remember, this crypt was built from 841 to 859. So these paintings are indeed very old and very special. We're looking up at the groin ceiling right now. I thought this was interesting because it almost looks like they were painting on ribs. So there are no ribs, of course, but most of the ceilings are painted. I thought this was another interesting view to follow up on the last one of what looked like painted ribs. This is a column or a pier that actually has a more slender column and capital painted on it. This is an actual capital on top of a pier, Carolingian style. You can see it looks quite different from anything we've seen in Romanesque or in Gothic. This is a very beautiful wall painting. We're looking at 2 men here. They are interpreted as being bishops, and their job is to transmit the word of God. The person on the left is holding a book, and the person on the right is holding his ring finger against his thumb. This gesture was considered a symbol of the transmission of knowledge and wisdom. This last photo may seem a little odd because we're looking at a big stone pillar instead of at some of the beautiful paintings that are in the crypt. But it's actually, I think, a very special pillar. When it was decided to build that big, heavy church up above the crypt in the 13th century, the master mason had the foresight and the appreciation of what was in that crypt, and he wanted to protect it. But he also wanted to protect the architectural integrity of this 9th century crypt. So we built this extra pier, there's several down there, that would support the weight of the stone that was going to be above, but also these piers would blend in to what had been built 4 centuries earlier.